There. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Amaranthine Invitational. This is session number 9. The year is 1710. We are, if we quickly get rid of, or bring back all this extraneous fluff to the side of the screen, and we look at this, the age of absolutism is ending in 1 month. That means the age of revolutions is here. Is here, or will be here. I'm sure I'm making various grammatical errors somewhere. Let's get some background music on before I talk myself insane. So, where were we when we last left out? We left the world at peace. Pretty much a world at peace. If we come across here and see current wars, none of these wars matter. They're all against, just native subjugation, typical Western stuff. No big player country on player country wars. I mean, you've got the typical Yunlin getting beaten up by everyone. Oh no, I forgot Kazil Bronco in that. So we're going to watch over here to start with. But we've got the special start time. This is starting at 8 o'clock my time. It is now bang on 8 o'clock of my time. We're going to try and push on to 1750. 40 years at the end game. It's a tough ask. But someone's going to try it. We have in here, we have got Gioia and Ninja Karutsu, a revived Ninja Karutsu, who have just sat there doing nothing as a tributary of Sonyeo Sedai. Here we go, the age of revolutions, the questioning of rights, authority, and the world itself, giving way to yet more democracy. Speaking of democracy, the world's greatest democracy, the Grand Peasants' Republic, the Polish Democratic Party, the home of the Enlightenment. Boom. That's how you know they're the real Democrats. So, what we're also looking out for is to see if the Savage Men... As you can see, these are a lot. A hell of a lot of separatists going around. Now, they are in a little bit of trouble. They've taken so much land so quickly that separatists might just bombard the nation down. There's zealots there. Let me have a quick look at my session notes. I've got a new stability section. Stability runs from +3 to -3. If you're at 0 below, that's dangerous. The Savage Men are at 0. Malta are at 0. Caboose are at -2. And Arkansas at -2. Everyone else is above 0. So that's what we're on the lookout for. Let's have a flip back to that. We've got actual people watching, which remains a shock to me. If you're watching and you want me to particularly look at anything, or you've got a question, just fire it in the chat. And I might see it at some point and try to answer it. I'm almost tempted to knock this up to speed 4, but we've not sped up or slowed down the game so far. I'm not going to start today, no matter how far into the game we want to get. So this was a war all about Ordos. I think it was Ninja Karutsu. Yep, the ninja conquest of Halumbuya, which is this down here. And they've got it. But Kazil Bronco want to maintain this camouflage they have here. Perhaps Ninja Karutsu thought they were attacking Kazil Bronco, and they've accidentally caught a hold of Ordos instead. Arkansas, that's Arkansas peasants. That's not that big a deal. Can the PLD be revolutionary? I think anyone can be revolutionary, but it requires more revolt risk, I think. So you know who's just taking on a whole load of territory, has low stability and high revolt risk, it going into the Age of Revolutions, and has their capital technically in Europe. We'll see what transpires. I need to turn that stream off on the other screen, actually. There we go. So what is actually happening over here? Everything seems to be going very, very slowly. I don't know why. This is Ninja Karutsu. Look at their ideas. They're all full of horse ideas. Cavalry combat, cavalry to infantry ratio, land lead to shock. They should be just riding the horses. But no, infantry, infantry, infantry. Where's their biggest army? Oh, there we go. That's a cavalry army. There are more kinds of revolts than that. You've got heretics, you've got revolutionaries, you've got particularists. It'll all be there. Now, I can't actually read the prerequisites for revolution, so hopefully somebody can share them with me. But I would guess that the Savage Men are closest to it just because they are unstable at the moment. That's who's eligible. It's anyone in Europe of a decent size, at least 30 provinces. They can't be a tributary. They can't be France. Which doesn't disqualify Epiphany as much as they wish it did. The Separatists. What are these? They're Caboose Separatists beating back Gezira? Or Denial Valley? Oh, and I think, yep, I was about to say, CSM just pointed out in chat, but Court and Country is an ongoing disaster for the Savage Men. So they can't become revolutionary right now. But in the future, who knows? Oh, I forgot all about this. Look at this ugly little stick of land. I might bring that up, actually. Hold on, because I can do this quickly, I think. Oh no. Oh no. Right, let's get rid of that. It's good to see some excitement at your country doing well. But oh no. Right, where has all my stuff gone? Where's my chat? There we go. The AI certainly does bother with loans, but they don't use loans... I don't think they use loans actively. As in, anyone will use loans once you run out of money. And the AI will sometimes actively run out of money, especially when fighting a war. But they wouldn't take out a big loan just to pay for improvements in the way that a human would. To be fair, that strategy's been nerfed for humans, as it were, because interest costs a lot more. Exactly. Loans for debt, but not capital investment. Savage Men still not at war. But actually, have a look at this. Look at all the warnings they're firing out. What a warning is if Georgia, if Gezira, if Switzerland go to war, then the Savage Men will be called in to start their own war against them. I used to debase currency quite a lot. Debasing currency is getting the amount of money you'd get for a loan, but you don't have to pay it back. Instead, you take corruption. But I grew out of it because it's a terrible option. Was this... This wasn't here in 1700 because it wasn't there for the update. No, just in the meantime, we've seen a sneaky war from Tequila, and they've just cut a little bit out of Australia Minor. It's not looking great for our Australian friends. They're holding on to a tiny slice of Borneo, the Buru. To be fair, I very rarely see revolutionary countries nowadays. Now, what is this? It's Gruenhammer getting eaten up by the PRD. It's the PRD have declared that war. But here's the thing. The PRD can't take any of this. In fact, none of these guys can take any of that. The PRD are only gonna get, yeah, you know, let's not try. Oh, wow, actually. Oh, imagine that, being Grunhammer. Finally dying, but dying with a 666 ruler on the throne. It would almost be worth it. It would almost be worth it. How's Switzerland doing? Any decent rulers going around? Noah von Mistra. That famous German name. Alexios Savage Man is phenomenal. There aren't a horrendous ruler on the throne of Tequila. A very good ruler on Samuda. Now, it looks like peace has been declared here. And it doesn't look like Ninja Karutsu got anything out of it. So, a white peace over there. That's what I like to see. Yunlin Separatist, that's definitely what I like to see. Where's the Sun Yeo army? It's right there. It's building back up. It'll kill the Separatists. But for a moment, we can but dream that this will all become Yunlin's superior shade of blue once more. Anything going on down here, Tokmaria-wise? Oh, they are at war. It just really doesn't... Oh, no, that's where. They've gone to war of Sakalava. Imperialist war. And what do they want? Well, first of all, who are they fighting? And then what do they want? They are fighting Madagascar, essentially. And what do they want? Well, they allegedly don't want it. They're against Madagascar, but they don't want Madagascar. Fine. That's absolutely fine. So what's going to happen over here with Grunhammer? I can tell you what I think is going to happen. I think peace is going to be declared. Nordisch Reich or the Savage Men or even Switzerland are going to roll in, pick up the pieces, and they'll be dead. That's what we're looking out for. Oh, they maintain their alliance with Macaronesia? I'll settle on Macaronesia, who are this tiny island state in Madeira over here. But I can appreciate that they've stuck by their friends forever. Tiny island states, sticking by their friends forever, and definitely not backstabbing them. By the way, look at that city just out over the Mediterranean. 41 development in Malta. Actually preposterous. Oh, hello. Did this happen last time and I just completely forgot about it? It must have done, given the length of that truce and how it's nearly up. But the last I remember of this was in 1700, but of course we played until 1710. So the last 10 years of that campaign, I don't remember at all. That is peace over there for Tokmaria. They didn't take any land because they didn't want any land. What did they actually take? I'll have a quick check in here. Let's keep this rolling. Because what I suspect they've done... It's Sakalava, isn't it? I suspect Sakalava might have had a lot of money. Well, they might have had a lot of money. They certainly don't now. They took that tiny island. They took the Comoros. Oh no, did they take, it's maybe out here as well, because Sakalava have more of these. Socotra, maybe? Who knows? Solas is far better than me at actually seeing what's going on. Directly east. Ile de Bourbon and the other one. Mauritius. These are actually very good islands. Unlucky to have them both spawned with fish. But that's still 11 and 14 development there. I would have kind of have expected Tokmaria to go for the Maldives and for some of these islands over here. Just because... Hello, what is this? Occupied by Denmark, but they were allied with Denmark. So, Samuda's power plays have gotten themselves killed. They were protecting Amaranth to protect them from Denmark. Denmark were the threat to Amaranth. Denmark took one look at them and are just ploughing straight through them. And that has broken up. Oh, look at that swarm. The utter swarm of the Golden Scourge. Samuda are beating them back. Samuda have their army back, but it is Samuda versus Tequila, and there's only one real winner there. Especially when you've got Amaranth on your side. They should have ignored that call to arms. They should have absolutely let Amaranth die. Because this is not a war they'll be winning. Who else might come in against these guys? They've already killed Arkansas, who have lost even more land there, I think. How recent was this? They're guaranteed by Kumis now, of all people. Could have been fairly recent. I mean, Bengalistan, this is your time. Hit Tequila with all you've got. And then die for it anyway, but then... This could be exactly what Tequila need to rocket themselves back up the table as well, because Samuda, let us not forget, are a great power. Or are they? Did they get knocked out by Norderschreik? I think they got knocked out. They should be like 9th or 10th great power. They've got a lot of development. Right, that's a little bit neater, at the very least, taking that province colours in the Carpathian Mountains. And that looks more and more like a trigger mechanism now. Also strong rebuilding armies. No new alliances that I can see. None of these weird and wacky alliances. Epiphany continue. Against war... See, this is the problem with Neroland. Neroland have... If we have a look at their diplomatic view. Essentially, all these little blue provinces, they are individual states. They are native tribes. But Neroland has them all paying tribute for protection. But Epiphany and Free Scotland, they're just going to blast straight through that. And so every single time a Native American tribe gets attacked, Neroland are called in. And that's why Neroland are dead. I mean, I say they're dead. They've got all this in South America. Speaking of dead, how are Yunlin doing? They finally have an alliance with Kazil Bronco. Far too little, far too late. A big battle going on here. And it's Tequila's numbers that look like they'll win out. A 3-star general there for Samuda. Let's not forget, Samuda have some fantastic ideas of their own. Plus 10% discipline and national ideas. Infantry combat ability, but Tequila have actually taken good ideas. Defensive and quantity. Manpower recovery. Apart from that, they don't have too good at military, actually. If it wasn't for the sheer overwhelming weight of numbers, Samuda would have the better quality army. No, Samuda have the better quality of army. It's only the overwhelming weight of numbers that's going to lose it for them. So now that that alliance has been broken up, they don't want anything just yet. But that's not to say they won't take a lot. Because especially Goa will be a big one for them. That's a trade province that directs trade into Indus that Tequila would very much like to take. Another big old battle there. Samuda actually catching them. There we go. Beating them back. Tequila got a bit cocky, got a bit arrogant, split up their armies to siege. And Samuda just blast them back. Now they might get lucky here in that Denmark are just going to destroy Amaranth. Denmark probably don't care that much whether Tequila get land from Samuda. And it's Denmark in charge of the war. And that's what Denmark care about. Samuda having armies down here, having 19,000 units down there. These guys need to just die. They need to die so they can rebuild an army back on their mainland. Another big old fight, but this time it's Samuda who've been split up. Yeah, I didn't even see that, actually. I did not even see that. It's not even Tequila occupying Samuda. I got all excited that Tequila would be doing something cool and good and going for A big play, taking over all of India, but no, they don't even want that land. We're only killing you because we have to. It's pathetic. What is this little trail of troops going on? Here we go. This is it. This is the big one. This might be exactly what I said would happen. It's not. It's not at all. But it's effectively, this is what's happened. London have attacked Vikingar. London versus Vikingar. I don't know what they want particularly. It could be Oldenburg. It could be the provinces up here. But they've brought in their ally Nordischreich. And Vikingar brought in the PRD. This is the first split in the Norse bloc. It was always going to happen between Nordischreich and the PRD. The PRD have Schwarzwald on their side. I don't think that's going to be enough. Because the PRD took quantity ideas early on. I think Nordischreich have caught up. Yep, here we go. And I think this is... I think the PRD have lost it here. A massive battle straight up. Did I see Lurtzland marching in there? Are Lurtzland involved in this? Lurtzland are attack. Lurtzland could get all their land back from the PRD as well. We could see a Lurtz renaissance here. This is going to stop Nordischreich and Switzerland finishing off Grunhammer. You know who it's not going to fit? It's not going to stop the Savage Men. So it is all kicking off here. And that is Lurtzland occupying all of Vikingar. So what do London want? Oh, London have Friesland, so they definitely will want Oldenburg, I would guess. Yep, that's what they want. I would love to see Lurtzland back on the map, because that little extension of Germany is incredibly ugly. And Lurtzland actually did enough to get themselves back in. Look at these alliances they've secured. When they were knocked down to just this. When they started with all of that. I really want to see Lurtzland survive. Get back on the map. Meanwhile, just checking for any changes in borders. Have Samuda fought? Where, oh where, are Tequila's armies? They're still in the war. It's still the same war. There's no occupations. Surely they're down here then. But why would they be down here? Because the Tequila army's over here. The Tequila army's just abandoned India, it looks like. And Samuda do actually want that border. If Samuda somehow managed to... No, they're up there dealing with the occupations in the Himalayas. That's what's happening. Because there was a little minor occupation up here that went to Amaranth. But anyway... Back to the war. Lurtzland losing yet more ships. That's what I like to see. Schwarzwald look like they're going to be down and out very quickly here. You can see exactly what London want. They want Dithmarschen, they want Oldenburg, and everything else. Including all this land, which they could respectably take. It's part of the North Sea node that funnels into the English Channel. They could take that. That'd be very useful for them. Oh no, they have... Oh no, they'll get the occupations by default, apart from stuff that Lurtzland particularly wants. So Lurtzland particularly wants this, and that's what they could potentially get in any piece. I thought that was a big battle there, but no, it's just a beatdown on PRD. Combined Swiss and German operation. An operation of the occupation. I'm always suspicious when I see the Savage Men rebuilding an army. Of them more so than anyone else. Revolutions happening aplenty in Geoia. Yeah, this would be the time. This would be the time for Epiphany just to gather up their 2 blocks of allies, not just the Triple Alliance of Epiphany, Patria, and Eric Lux, not just the Little Entente of Epiphany, Legendia, and Free Scotland, but they could smash London. They could rip London apart. Peace in America and peace with Neroland. I don't know what they might have taken. I am actually curious, so we'll have a little bit of a look. Who even knows? But Neroland still just about in one piece. But could they be preparing for something else? I certainly hope so. Are Osterstrond in this war? Osterstrond aren't in this war either. Big fight there again. The PRD getting beaten back. Insofar as major powers, Schwarzwald don't cut it anymore. They've got good generals, but they don't have enough of an army. Nordischreich, Switzerland, London, they are all big players in their own right. Vikingar getting sieged down. I don't think this war's going to last for very long. It's Vikingar who are the war target. And Vikingar, as you can see, minus 46% already. They're going down. They're going down fighting. But it's not enough. Right. Peace in our time over in India. And I imagine, yep, Damak have taken another slice of Amaranth. Samuda's borders are unchanged. But they lack allies. They're desperately trying to get Tequila back on side. But they are still protecting Amaranth and protecting Bengalistan at the same time. I feel like this isn't wise, in all honesty. I feel like you've overplayed your hand there. Another PRD beatdown at the hands of 100,000 Londonian troops. Or Landanian troops, as I imagine it would be actually pronounced in this campaign. Oh, hello. Now it's Legendia at War of Sakalava. And they potentially want that coastline. Or the islands, I guess? Sure. Comoros? I mean, Legendia should take absolutely everything they can around here. It's not necessarily great land past here. Because as you can see, this is all ivory, this is all gold. Then you're into tropical wood that isn't necessarily that good. Especially when it's jungle. Although this is all savanna. So they're still worth taking it. Crushing those rebels. But Legendia, their problem early on, no, their problem throughout the game. Oh no, that's Vikingar getting beaten back again. Their problem is that they had nowhere to expand from it very early on. They could have expanded into Africa, but Malta beat them to it. That was the whole point. They found their own route of expansion. Having not even taken exploration ideas, they've taken espionage, for goodness sake. Come on, lads, get it together. In greatly disappointing news, Samudali Katha are once again allied with Tequila, and so we won't ever look back at India ever again. I do like that no matter what they do, Lurtzland will just continue losing ships. Well, let's keep this rolling, but I can quickly show you naval losses. Total. Lurtzland's well up there. Yunlin, well, not really surprisingly high up. But Lurtzland have lost everything. Many times. A great many times. They've even got a respectable army for themselves. You can kind of see what Switzerland wants to take from Schwarzwald. You can kind of see what Nordischreich want to take. You can kind of see that nobody really wants this section. But I would be... Here's the thing. What if the war goal on PRD is to make them annul treaties with the Savage Men and Ossestrand. That would utterly ruin them if they didn't get those treaties back. Because the PRD has always been the worst connected member of the Norse bloc. Well, they're not. Ossestrand are. But Ossestrand are isolated. Nobody's going to be declaring war on Ossestrand. Even if they did, they wouldn't win. Because they've got very harsh winters over here. And everyone would just die from attrition. Let me have it. Look at that. Pure white winter. Severe winter. Currently suffering severe winter. Big old battle. PRD might win it. Apart from, you know, those other 50,000 reinforcements swooping in. Epiphany at war with Neroland again. With Neroland again. What if the AI is stupid? That doesn't sound right to me. Wisna down. Although being retrieved. Any forts gone down? Yep. Poznan. Poznan, level 8 fort gone down. They might actually win a battle. Reinforcements pour in. Nap. They've retreated. No real changes across... Hello? Hello? What is this? What on earth has happened here? So Neo Sedai have attacked Ninja Karutsu. Their tributary has gotten far out of hand. Oh! Oh, what a day. February 1719, what a day. Happy days. As Sonjeo Sedai lose a war to Ninja Karutsu. A joyous day. Sonjeo Sedai, without Gioia as an ally, Gioia collapsing completely. This is the time. This is it. Truce is up in 2 years. You've got an ally. Did Yunlin get anything out of that? I don't know. I was too excited. You know me at the best of times. I can't really see what's going on the screen because I'm busy thinking, flipping back and forth, and I'm not very observant anyway. But in this case, I was just so excited to see Sonjeo Sedai losing a war that I wasn't really paying attention to anything else. Again, the PRD keep picking decent battles, and then there's just a weight of reinforcement that just rolls on in. My number one hope for this war is that Nordisch Reich don't take Berlin. Because the German nationalists, shall we say, right, oh, Schwarzwald, Jesus Christ. They didn't really give much to Switzerland, they took it all for themselves. Goodness gracious. Lutzland, oh, Lutzland got something. Lutzland got 6 development. The PRD still have all their treaties as well. If there's one of the Norse bloc countries I want to see lose, it's definitely Nordisch Reich. But I feel like they're not likely to lose, so I do want PRD to lose out massively to make it a bit more interesting. Caboose have actually gotten another alliance with Kazil Bronco. Which I have to say, doesn't strike me as a very good idea. Because once the Savage Men have consolidated their land, what do the Savage Men want? I hope it's still everything, otherwise I've made a fool of myself. It's not, they want nothing. Why do they want nothing? They still want Legendia. That's unfortunate. What's this guy? Queen Regent Justina Denny on the throne of the Savage Men. Malta are losing to Burkina. How? What have you done, Malta? What I could do as well... Because, no, they're on the side of Patria. How have they managed that? They're allied? They're allied with Patria, and they're taking a beating for it. The Chief Savage Denny. The Denny dynasty is actually spread out far and wide. Schwarzwald, East Frisia, Lurchland. I keep calling it Lurchland now. Terrible. Lurchland. Regency for Chief. Oh no, we are finally getting the Chief. Oh, look at that as well. A 554. The Chief Savage Man is coming to the throne. I love this. This is one of my favourite little details about EU4. In that if you... Look at that, by the way. That your original ruler, that name is added to the pool of ruler names. So you will... I think that's why we get Nowhere Mistra, for example, because nobody started with an heir. So that name is just kind of added to the random pool. But now we have the 554 Chief Savage Man. Hopefully a militarist. Regency Council. That Denny died. Their administrators, Chief Savage Men can't go... The Savage Men can't go to war. But once Chief Savage Man ascends... Maybe that's why they didn't want anything. They just always want Legendia just by default. Because you would, after spending 300 years pining for it. Is this the same war? Could well be. It's Scotland fighting it anyway. Meanwhile, Osterstrone sit down. In their corner. A bit embarrassed that they're being... Well, they're not being overtaken in many respects, because let's keep this rolling. I know you guys who vociferously read through the write-ups will know this already, but look at Osterstrone's income compared to anyone else's. Epiphany are getting up there. That's through domination of trade, but the production is actually ridiculous for Osterstrone. When did they eat that much of Perm? You know what? I missed that. In fact, Osterstrone! Right. How did you let the Savage Men eat Perm? Of all countries, how did they beat you to Perm? They start with their capital here. Your capital is here. In the same picture as Perm. Anyway, they lost Perm. Eight years ago. So 3 years into the session, I just didn't notice it. I could never do this by myself without streaming. I would just miss absolutely everything. Yeah, now they are actually out of expansion options. Is this here? Wasteland, Wasteland. They can't actually get round to Permium, East Siberia, as it were. I can't believe that in the midst of all those separatists, they just thought, you know what, screw it, we'll go up to Perm. We want all... Oh, that's a development, actually. That's not bad. We'll get all these trash provinces. To be fair, fire is a really good resource now. Who actually dominates Siberia? And to be fair, the more trade they get in Kazan, the less trade that goes to Novgorod, and the more that eventually finds its way to Constantinople. So that's actually... It's a smartish move. If you want to find reasons to justify fighting your way through Siberia, that's probably high on the list for good reasons. What are London doing next? They've got the diplomacy to actually really push forward now. Let's have a look at who's dominate. Let's have a look. 79% of the English Channel, but Lubeck they should be doing well. 15 as well. So that's 18 0.38 trade going straight out of Lubeck, straight into the English Channel. Masses of pirates from Patria. I thought Patria were just all cute and cuddly, but there they are pirating the North Sea. There they are, cuddly Patria, producing slaves, subjugating Africa, pirating the North Sea. New Pacific Order. Still without a mandate, they're never getting it back. Sinsagar and Gansu. And it's Ordos who want... You know what, this whole kind of mess between our major countries... We've had Chunan be massive at some point, Sinsagar, Gansu. I swear someone else has been massive at some point, and I've just not paid attention. Who are Kumis allied with now? They desperately want to be allied with Tequila or the Savage Men, because Kumis, without that Kazil Bronco Treaty, they are a piñata. Their income is sky high. Bengalistan have their treaty with Georgia back. And immediately they're putting it to good use by beating down on the MPO. That was good timing to come across here in Bengalistan. The Georgia building up their own power base. Sonyeyo Sedai could be on their way out. I will try... I will offer a cash prize. If any one of these player countries annexes Sonyeyo Sedai, I will offer some prize or other to the person in charge of it. So Gezira allied with Arkansas and Tok Maria. Arkansas kind of trying to claw their way back. Have a look at... That's good timing. Defending against Latvia and Australia as well. You know what? If Malta annexed Sonyeyo Sedai, everyone gets a cash prize. So this could be the end of Australia Minor here, because they are at war with Tequila, Samuda, and Australia there. Latvia and Australia coming in trying to sniff around, pick up the pieces. You're too late, guys. You're too late. Tok Maria have an alliance with Tequila, with Georgia, the Nile Valley, far too little, far too late, and Gezira. Were Uganda always that big? I know the answer's no, but I can't remember what they actually were before. Warned by the Savage. I hope Gezira collapse. Patria at peace. What did they take? They're just still worming their way to where they need to be. They're not really striking directly for it, although a little bit more gold wouldn't ever go amiss. No. I was really hoping Lartz wasn't taking anything, because if we have Lartz over here, this could be it for Australia Minor. Minus 85% war score. Fully occupied. Fully occupied up here as well. Tequila will want all this. Samuda will want all that. Just one province remaining. No. They would be dead if not for Lurtzland taking that province. they would be completely out of it. Or would they? No, they've still got Buru. They'd be completely out of Australia if not for Luxland. But Luxland now can't take this province because they haven't got a land bridge to it. So now we're just going to have a tiny piece of Australia Minor in Australia. We just have a little reservation. Luxland keeping the dream alive. Hello? Hello? Oh, hello? What is this? Oh, oh ho ho! Oh boy! Let's roll up my sleeves. Let's dive into this. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't Epiphany who declared this war. It was Free Scotland. Free Scotland are going for the Reconquista. Or IPAL, the Reconquest. You can. Probably. So that is, in fact, who do I not care about? Switzerland I really don't care about. So let's jump into Switzerland. So we can get an idea of the numbers here. So the Scottish Reconquest of Cumbria. Free Scotland. Epiphany. Legendia. Against London, Luxland, Switzerland, and the Savage Men. Now this is all about taking Cumbria. This war. That's what the war goal is, and they will succeed at that war goal. They're already succeeding at that war goal. Now, as we saw, the Epiphany side does outnumber the other side. We can check over here though, and even if the main armies, all I'm seeing are colonial armies around here. A few no, there's Free Scotland's biggest army, I imagine. 46k in Texas. Here's Epiphany's armies down here. That's where all the armies are. I'll tell you where they're not. Over here. They might have just killed themselves. Because even beyond the numbers advantage, a lot of these numbers will be colonial forces that will never make their way to Europe. But if they don't have any of their army, well, look at that mass rebuilding of armies there. Well, Epiphany, of all countries, if you're gonna get taken down, don't get taken down by Switzerland. Erit Lux are not in this war. It's Legendia only who are in this war, and I'm looking here, I'm not seeing any Legendian troops. If I had to hazard a guess, Legendia in Zimbabwe. If Epiphany had declared this war, brilliant. Bring in everyone, bring in Patria, bring in Erit Lux. That's a good war. This is not a good war. Who's the war leader? It'll be London. It'll be if London want to give Legendia's land to the Savage Men. I'm not even considering, oh, maybe Legendia will win this war. They're not. They're dead. Paris is already down. London don't have an army there, but guess who does? It's Luxland. Luxland sieging down the Scottish capital of Edinburgh. Now, the main consolation here for this is the Little Entente. They have a far better navy. A far superior navy. Yeah, no, Luxland down here as well. Luxland sieging down all the capitals at once. They will get their armies back. And if a coordinated effort would easily push out, it would demolish Switzerland, it would demolish London. So that's one hope they have. The second hope they have is that this was a war of reconquest for Cumbria. All they need to do is land enough armies here to force a peace, to force London out. I was about to say, oh, is this going to be Luxland winning a naval battle? It still could be. This is a trade fleet. But no, outnumbered. That is the one thing the colonies do well. They have their navy and they bring their navy. Legendia holding their own over here. That's a trade fleet as well. Or rather, they were holding their own. But look at the Savage Men fleet come in now. Oh, wait, the Savage Men fleet is going down. Are Eric Lux in this? No, their ships were just hanging out observing. But meanwhile, Caboose Separatists are sneaking back in. You have Pretender Rebels up here. I really hope we don't get Pretender Rebels. Oh no, we have the Chief Savage Man in command. The Savage Man is in control. Instantly, Chief Savage Man comes to the throne and Epiphany collapse. I mean, that's what the history books will say. That's what the history books will say. Chief Savage Man came to the throne, 15 years old in 1723. In 1724, Paris fell. Massive naval battle over here. Big fleets on both sides. London do not have an admiral, but the Scottish fleet is going down. Massive casualties on both sides, but London should win out. And this is a transport fleet as well. They could be transporting an actual army back there. Scotland beating down London and Cornwall. You have salvages in the south of France. Oh, Kashan going back in on Arkansas. That's Arkansas, Gezira and Masira versus Kashan, Kumis and Kazil Bronco. Well, that's not the main event though, is it? And the Lurtzland getting sieged down. The most important thing here is how long Epiphany is willing to hold out with this level of occupation. Because obviously they're losing this war by a long stretch. Schwarzwald separatists there in Switzerland. Norderreich rebuilding armies, but they're not paying their troops or they're drilling. They're just building up their armies in general. Now, as you can see, a massive Savage Men army and Switzerland coming to help as well. So these separatists weren't really ever going to make progress, but it does divert a good number of troops. And indeed, you've got troops over here dealing with these rebels as well, which is kind of the problem when you take over such far-flung lands. That could give these guys an opportunity to regroup because they've only got 26k there. $66,000 Londoners though, over here. That is Scotland sieging down London. A level 9 fort, 10,000 is not going to be enough. You need at least 27,000 people to siege down that fort. Osterstrom building up. But again, but not much just now. Bengalistan at peace. Can we quickly see what they've taken? Whoa, actually, they've taken a huge swathe there. Bengalistan back on the map. Jutland, not yet. I was really hopeful there. Because look at the similarities in those colours. I was so happy for a split second. But no. What does Switzerland want? I bet it's it's ugly as hell. Please, can we not let Switzerland win this? Oh my god, imagine if Switzerland won and we ended up with Switzerland as a great power. We would just have to just stop the campaign there. How have Epiphany not got the Enlightenment, but Tequila do? Embarrassing. We've yet... Was that an Osterstrom flag? Did I see an Osterstrom flag? They sent all those armies over. They didn't actually get rid of the Separatists. This is more like it. We've got Epiphany and Free Scotland sieging down London. That's still not enough troops. But they've gotten rid of the Lurtzen troops in Scotland proper. If they can siege down London... No, they've not. That's Lurtzen down there in Devon in Somerset. They take out... Oh, a massive battle. That is a trade and transport fleet. Another one going down. The London really pulling its weight navally. Finally, an army getting built up in Spain. Roma is going down. And Legendia might not have the biggest army in this fight, but they've got a very well trained one. What's down there? Discipline, infantry combat ability, morale of armies. They've got defensive and offensive ideas. Stick quantity on that, and Legendia are a world power. No. No. I've missed 1725. I have. Give me just one sec. But Epiphany are out of the war. No, I absolutely missed 1725, so what I'm going to quickly do, I'm going to quickly load this autosave. Just so I can make a save at 1725. But who could blame me for missing 1725? Thank God you were here, Solas. As I say every single stream. But we're going to save this game here. We're going to come back to this. We're not going to skip out on that extra year worth of fight. But it's just important to me personally to make a save game here to draw some stats from. And this bit takes ages. So we're going MK 1725. What's the time? Oh, we're not going quickly enough. Oh no, maybe we are. And we load game. Back to 1726. And we hope that saving and reloading doesn't break any AI routines. Or rather, we hope it does. We hope it does. Because these AI routines need to be broken. Epiphany knocked out the war. London have taken Luxembourg. Did they lose anything else? We might never know. Epiphany out of the war. Legendia now might be the real big losers of this. Let's keep going. Oh, Scotland might be the real big losers of this, to be fair. They could lose their entire homeland. At least Legendia have a nice holiday home. Arkansas completely occupied by Kashan. Well, their homeland is. Not sure about this little extra bit down here and in here. Quick looks around. I would go so far as to say is that this is not just Epiphany's biggest loss. This might be their only loss so far. Scotland getting beaten down. Is it? Oh, when was the Act of Union between Scotland and England? It was 1707 or something, wasn't it? Scotland, England, Union. 1707. So we're a few years late. But essentially what's happened here is Scotland have gone off marauding in the New World. They've come back in a desperate situation and they formed a union with England. Because art imitates life. Where's Nero? Nero would enjoy that. So you can kind of see now, this is the danger for Legendia. Roma and Umbria. That's peace for Lurtzland. Have Lurtzland been... Lurtzland have massive rebels. Massive pretender rebels as well. 2 different pretenders. It's a massive civil war, actually. The Lurtzland are out. Their job done. The Free Scotland now have the advantage in the British Isles again. Oof. I can't keep up with this. The Pretender Rebels are almost certainly going to win, but who's going to win? Is it going to be the Oxes? The Reventlows? It's not going to be the Dennies. The Denny dynasty is going to be reduced back to Schwarzwald, I think. Who's the Chief Savage Man married to? Who knows? And while we're here, Patria. That's a very lovely, nice striped blue and purple, I think. You should keep that like that. So that's what the Savage Men want. They want essentially just along where it says Legendia. You can kind of see though, they're at war. But look at where their armies are. Their armies are all back, ready to deal with rebels. They know this war is easily won. Big naval battle down here. But again, that's a transport fleet and it'll be sunk. That could be the entire Legendian army for all we know, going down to the bottom of the Mediterranean. The real strength behind any bloc is the diplomatic unity. It's there being no weak links. And that's why Osterstrode are in the strongest position. There's no weak links. If I was to take on the Savage Men, if I was a major country and I was looking to take on the Savage Men, well, Lurtzland aren't even that weak a link anymore. Oh, God, more Pretender Rebels up there. This is a proper civil war they've got, actually. Look at this. That's a very truncated army there. Well, to be fair, getting an army back to Sicily would allow you to knock out those 3,000 London troops. Anyone sending subsidies to Scotland? Nope. To be fair, they've gotten Cumbria back. They've gotten their capital back. They've lost a lot of war score on battles. Yeah. I thought, Legendia might be knocked out there. But it's fine, they haven't. Oh, actually, 15k there, getting Roma back. How big is Roma? That surely isn't enough to actually siege down Roma. You need more troops than that. Look at that, minus 100. It's not happening. Just kill those guys. If I was Legendia, what I would do is make sure the Savage Men have absolutely no occupations. Because if the Savage Men have no occupations on Legendia, it means that they're not going to get any of that land. These are the only 2 provinces that the Savage Men could get right now. There's 27k Legendians. There's a rebuilt Scottish army. Where's London? Switzerland are still in this as well. There's Swiss. There's a Swiss. Is something going on that I'm not seeing? Oh, there's London. There's an occupation of... oh, that's what the Genji are doing. I forgot all this was London. and Legendia were actually on, you know, operations there. That's a good army for Legendia as well. 15 infantry, 12 artillery. As opposed to masses of horses, like that London one. And no artillery. That's a trash army from London. Obviously the numbers there, and a 3-star general will really help. But it's not going to help them over there if London can actually... If Free Scotland can actually pull this back. Take these forts, take London, and they won't actually lose that much. "39 strong fleets, mostly transports." Because the Savage Men certainly don't have the war score by themselves to piece out. Only minus 39% war score for Legendia. Interesting. We'll cut back across here to find that Arkansas are dead. Caboose, having once stabbed Arkansas in the back, they're now finishing the job. Oh, and Arkansas at Wharf Tequila as well. And that's Tequila going for Arkansas. Tequila just... They want it all. Arkansas are dead. Oh, Gioia, no. No. Why? You could have beaten down Sunyer Sedai, not Yunlin. Why have you done this? Ah. Oh. Hey, Tulk Marine troops were on the move because they are allied with Tequila, and they're helping beat down Arkansas. Peace over here. Legendia still in one piece. Free Scotland still in one piece. Unless we take a look over here and it's all just London now. I really did think for a second that's what we'd see. But no, a white piece for everyone but Epiphany. The Epiphany really didn't show up. I would go as far as to say that was Epiphany's fault. But this is a good demonstration of why, if you're playing single player, you should never count on England or Great Britain. Because this is what happens to the AI around here. Look at how many troops they've got back home now. Imagine if they'd had that to start with. Of course, now that the Savage Men aren't at war, and they know that Epiphany aren't going to come for them because of truces, what are they going to do next? Does Emperor, Chief Savage Man, want it all? No. He still just wants Legendia. With Imperialism, who knows? He could go for anything. Is he a dove? Oh, no. Oh, why? Oh, no. Oh, why? Oh, no, oh, why? Grunhammer and Siegfried Nasrid, the 666 Catholic Austrian Nasrid. Not Switzerland, though. Come on. Oh, Nordischreich don't even want that land. Are they just going to give it over to Switzerland? How pathetic is that? And in this year, 1729, was the end of the Grunhammer dynasty. Siegfried Nasrid, he was a bold fighter. He went down with the ship. I imagine they're just trying to finish off Macaronesia. Get that war score to 100 to make sure they can annex it all. But once the screen disappears, I'll try and keep this screen on. We will know what hath transpired. Keeler and Caboose. Did they ever have a border? I don't think so. Arkansas were always in the way. But now, the once major powers. Actually, let's have a quick check over here. Yep, still up. The once major powers of Caboose and Tequila will soon share a border. How exciting. Come on now. Let's have a slow pan, actually. I'm good at these. This is the one thing I can do. Let's go. Whoa. Right, what have we missed while I was busy doing that? Everett Luck's doing nothing. Switzerland are exiled for some reason. Peace over here. Keela have not taken much. They took Al Qatif. Leaving Caboose to take the rest. Osseström rebuilding. Are there any warmongers? Give me one warmonger. I swear if we were about to click on Eric Lux and they had the warmonger, I was just going to switch the stream off. Baroda is Baroda. Nah. Mass rebuilding of armies there for Savage Men. Malta will be a militarist. Oh. I think we don't have a single militarist. No, here we go. I knew Lartson wouldn't let me down. Which is why I clicked on everyone else first. Is Free Scotland going to be a militarist, actually? We might not know because they might have elected someone since. I could have explained why they so stupidly ran in without checking. So that is Gregor's Ox the First who won that civil war. And they get a cool army to go with it. Nobody really desires the rest of Lartland anymore. Because they are allied with the Savage Men, they are allied with London. And that puts a dampener on desire. It's like I zoomed in to here, and all these guys were just stood stock still. I was like, do I have it on pause? Does that smoke stop? Oh no! It's dead. It's dead. It's dead, and Switzerland have killed it. Perfidious Switzerland. Someone kill Switzerland, for Christ's sake. How big are Switzerland? Switzerland bigger than Eric Lux. The Mood are back in great powers. London up there. Free Scotland taking a tumble. Scottish Columbia. That's a huge one there. From out of nowhere. And they're taking out more of Columbia as well. Making their way down to Nederland. So, here's the thing about Nederland, right? We've got Nederland in La Plata. But then we've got also Nederland in La Plata. And there's a difference. So the green here is Nederland's actual land. And the turquoise is Neroland's colonies. And this is why I've got no interest in looking at what Neroland's doing. Is that a war? All of a sudden while I was looking at it. Cool. Is that Patria going to war in Neroland in Brazil? I hope so. No, it's Patria have attacked someone else. I think, yeah, Patria have attacked these guys. Legendian Brazil, still hanging on. And of course, Neroland, who has everyone in here under tributary, gets called in and will get beaten down. Caboose looking a bit better. Arkansas forced out. I don't think this was their land originally either. Oh no, it definitely was. Arkansas started with the jaw of the Persian Gulf and the teeth of Qasim and the morsel of meat that is Hormuz. No. No, 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 no. Of all countries, surely not. This could be trouble. We have masses of revolutionaries in Tequila, and I think they outnumber the Tequilan army. The revolutionaries are getting beaten back, though, by inferior numbers. No, I think Tequila have this. They just need to keep it together. The Samuda are at war with Damak and Bengalistan. Oh, because Samuda attacked Damak. That's brave. Did Damak lose their ally? Damak lost their alliance with Tequila. Oh yeah, they're not in Europe. So they can't actually become revolutionary. This is just wrecking Tequila for the hell of it. You know what? I'll take it. We don't have to watch them. I'll take it. I keep forgetting the not in Europe part. Big army there for Geoia. Are they about to go to war and that's why they've got their army stacked up on the Yunnan border? Probably not, because they've got a big old truce of Yunnan. Yunnan defending against Sonyeo, Sedai and Gansu. But Kizil Bronco are in on the other side. Will that make a difference? Oh, hello. It's making somewhat of a difference. Oh, but Kazil Bronco in 2 wars at once, one with Ninja Karutsu. So they attacked Ninja Karutsu, and that's when Sonyeo Sedai decided, hey, we'll just pick on Yunnan then. You know what? I wouldn't mind it as a solution to the Chinese situation if Kazil Bronco just came and took over everything. That'd be fine with me. The Tequila taking a bit of a beating. But it's not really that relevant. I'm a bit annoyed that we did have a fracture in the Norse block and nothing's really happened. No alliances got cancelled. Nobody really lost anything. Lartsland got a bit of comedy land. Australia still alive. Amaranth. Who's going to die first? Amaranth of Australia. What was the province that Australia might have had? Because if that's gone, and it has, yeah, they're dead. Someone's taken... Was it Buru? I think it was Buru. Yeah, Buru. It's gone. It's Damak. Damak is Dabak. The Yunnan losing this war. But Ninja Karutsu are certainly going to lose to Kazil Bronco. So if Kazil Bronco get out of that war quickly, will they make a difference? Will they change the tides? Will the tides turn? A nice naval battle there. In an inland sea, so the galleys are doing well against... Oh, look at this. This grand fleet is getting beaten down. Oh, reinforced. Unfortunate. The Jinju might still go down. I thought Koreans were known for their turtle ships. So Sun Yeo eventually will win this battle, but they've lost most of their heavy ships. And I think this land... Maybe, actually. No, that was became Top Marine a while ago. So loads of armies trampling all over Tequila between Bengalistan and Samuda. I have to say I do hope Damak get beaten down. Not just because... Hello? Not just because Amaranth are my country, so to speak, but because I don't want to see Damak do well. I only want to see countries that people have made do well. That's the main reason I don't want to see Switzerland do well. It's like, I don't mind a proper comedy country doing well, like Malta. Like Denial Valley. Hey, jokes. But... And Georgia's a special case, obviously. Why are there Koreans down here? Because they're Chinese. That wasn't some off-color racist joke. Those are actual Gansu Chinese troops down there. That's actually pathetic. Wow. Oh no, I suppose that's Neroland helping out. What on earth has happened with this name? Anyway, the De Niros are on the throne of Pyrenees. What remains of it. I think it is literally just that province of Pyrenees. That all 6 development of it. Scottish Columbia is up there. How are Free Scotland doing with all their colonies? Only one of them wants free, and that's Scottish Mexico, and look at it. Epiphany had such a good start and such a good mid-game, but it's kind of falling apart for them in the end game. What I was actually going to do was at 1625, I was going to... Someone has finally colonized Greenland, and it's London. A lot of the time, I don't ever see the AI actually colonize it. But you can, there we go, you can occasionally get ivory from it. Fish, not so good. What I'd like to see is just a little bit of wastelands filled in to make it all look better. Was that border always like that? Kazil Bronco getting pushed back as well, which is not a good sign. Yunlin now at the mercy of Sonia Sedai. Oh, they've even got all their troops around here, occupying up here, there, and everywhere. Let's have a quick little sweep for any particularly bad-looking rebels. Any revolutionaries. I very rarely see revolutionaries, honestly, in my games. What on earth are we listening to? That's alright. So that's the symbol we're looking out for. The big fist of the revolution. They've got a 73k army there. Why are they not taking down the revolutionaries on their own capital? Samuda being occupied by Damak. That'll be Bengalistan's troops getting over there while Samuda's doing other things. Music volume is a bit low. It's... What I want to do with the music is have it be as low as possible. without being annoyingly low. So if someone's remarking on it, it is annoyingly low, so I'll try to get it up just a tad. There. Perfect. Just to cover up the fact that I haven't actually really properly configured my environment for this mic yet. Schwarzwald separatists in London. It's like I can very much appreciate that the music I listen to on this isn't necessarily appropriate for EU4, but I don't like the in-game music. So I'm just going to use nice and flighty background music like this. Look at that, still Zoroastrian. I can never pronounce it. Zoroastrian? 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 So someone will correct me. And hopefully it'll be someone I trust. That's not religion. I click past religion. There we had warrior priests here, Agdash. If you remember. Well, Protestantism is actually doing pretty well, all things considered now. What on earth has happened here? Why is there just a little purple tendril, like one of my Japanese animes, reaching down into tequila? Oh dear. So peace. And Sonyeyo have taken Juanha. And that's about it. Steel Bronco no longer at war with Ninja Karutsu. And that was a white piece there. Pointless. Zoro astronaut, yes. Thank God someone I can trust finally came through with the right pronunciation. Ouagadougou, the final West African state. Patria should look to finish them off. Can they do it? In a couple of wars, sure. Rebels in Epiphany. Noble revolutionaries took a province there. The revolutionaries just keep coming in tequila. Maybe they've got the disaster, and therefore nobody else can get it. How is Samuda actually doing? They're losing massively. Because their war goal is to take Damak, which is going to be like this down here. Yeah, their war goal is to take that province. And this is a 54k stack sitting on it. Because Samuda can't make their mind up on what target to go for. Do they go for that stretch of land here, there? Well, they've gone over here, obviously. They've gone for the Moluccas. But Bengalistan came over, occupied a few provinces, and that's gotten the AI all messed up. What they need to do is simply siege down. There we go. That's a complete list of what you need to siege down. That. And you knock Bengalistan out. And then you concentrate on Damak, but no. They're not going to do that, and they're going to lose this war. In embarrassing fashion. Hold on. Of course that gets rid of the troops, what we're doing. But hold on. Isn't the entire point of London switching sides that they allied with Nordischreich? What's happening here? Lads. What have you done? The Switzerland have caused this rupture. London and Nordisch were ascendant. But as always, it's Switzerland messing everything up for everyone. The Switzerland, they just want these two provinces. They just want those two provinces. That's what Switzerland's doing. This is all Switzerland want. But this is what Switzerland got. Switzerland have lost an ally. They've lost their ally, an ally. London now only have the Savage Men. We can only hope that London get beaten down here. Now, to be fair, this was another power play from London. They are going out of their way to guarantee the independence of Pfalz, where perhaps they shouldn't do. Or maybe they just want to reserve it for themselves, because that would make far nicer land there. Watch Scotland do. I hope Scotland do nothing. I hope more than anything that Scotland sit and do nothing, because they will only mess things up. Let Epiphany lead. Better yet, let Eric Lux. This is the perfect time for Eric Lux to take all the allies they have and smash into Switzerland. Sorry, I leaned away and forgot I was on Switzerland, thought I was on Eric Lux and saw Eric Lux at war. Of course Eric Lux aren't at war. There isn't a truce. The truce is up because the ultimately it was white peace. That truce didn't last very long. Epiphany back at war with Neroland again. Or is that not the same one actually? Is that not the same Patreon war? For God's sake. So this will be interesting. And of course Schwarzwald are on. Oh. I didn't know why the Schwarzwald troops were rolling around, because it just didn't occur to me while looking at this that this isn't already all Swiss and this isn't already all London. But of course Schwarzwald are sandwiched in there, and of course they're getting beaten down first. Lettland, of course Lettland are in it. On Switzerland's side at that. Well, Lettland not essentially saved by Switzerland. That's by Switzerland, by London. Big old battle going on here. London doing what the PRD could not, and picking their battle before reinforcements could come in. And then, whoa, getting reinforcement from Schwarzwald. 2 3-star generals going at it. It is not a block because Switzerland and Savage do not have a connection. Hopefully that means that Chief Savage Man the Diplomat would like to kill Switzerland. No. Disappointing. At least it means he doesn't want to kill Georgia, which I can appreciate. Big old battle, reinforcements from both sides. But even outnumbered, the Swiss troops by themselves are doing really well. What ideas does Switzerland even have? I've never bothered looking. They're getting quantity. They've got offensive, defensive. And in their traditions, if it's like the normal Swiss, they'll have some good stuff in there. Fire damage received. Morale of armies. Anyway, Pfalz is already completely occupied. I'm saying these wars are always seem quite exciting. In that, hello? We have peace with Neroland once again. That's a longish peace, actually. Has anything actually changed over there? 13 years of truce? The Patra in Brazil have that. I'm not seeing many other changes there. Nope, none at all that I would ever recognise. The Epiphany are available once again. They're paying 187 to files each month, because that'll keep them alive. They've got a bit more of an army back in Spain and France this time. I really want to see Eric Lux get into a good war. Artillery from back row, artillery combat ability, land fire damage. This is the era of fire damage. Oh, they've nearly finished quantity ideas as well. They'll have a lot more cannons. Has Patra conquered down there? Not yet. Well, they've got one of the provinces they need. One of the trade provinces. And Cape Coast is the other one. The Benin, and there's also one up here. Oh no, that's the one they've got. So they do actually now have a good chunk of control of the Ivory Coast. So they will be sending 70 going forward to Sevilla, because Epiphany are helping with that. And then they're taking a massive chunk here. So Patria getting rich. Rebuilding their army for an attack against Angola, Uganda, and Angola, actually. They're going all the way down here. Interesting. That's a viable kind of human tactic if you're looking to win by score. Hook Marie up something, I'll believe it when I see it. And I don't believe it, because I don't seize it. Rebels down here. They're trying to be friendly with the Savage Men, because you would, wouldn't you? They quite fancy a little bit more of Caboose, and why would you not? But again, keep shouting out if you think you see anything, as much as I will mock it on occasion. Mombasa are completely gone, but over here, I think Mombasa were mostly already dead. Ah, there's hope. The Infinite Citadel core remains. And there's unrest. Mostly because the Chief Savage Man is a cruel ruler. We have East Frisia knocked out. They were at the war. They were in the war. Who ever could have guessed? I keep clicking on the wrong countries. I thought that was Epiphany. I saw a war with Switzerland, and again, my heart jumped. But no, of course they're not. But this would be the time, if ever there was a time, for Epiphany to declare war on London. Because they would take loads of London. All you would have to deal with is London and the Savage Men. But that's doable. Right, who is that knocked out? Schwarzwald knocked out. It's like there's not even any point in looking at what cause Schwarzwald is missing, because they're missing them all. So Ulm, Ingolstadt, Landshut. For goodness sake, somebody stop Switzerland. Canada trying to get the Savage Men to help get independence. I don't know, it's at this point, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'd quite like London to win here. And that's never happened before. These are the depths. It's a wonder I've spent so long commentating on things over the internet. I still can't pronounce words. But these are what we stoop to. Ulsterstrode being a major letdown? Nah, not really. This is just about what we expected of them. They've got yeah, I was about to say they've got exploration ideas, so they might be wanting stuff over here. But will they actually go for it? Nah, probably not. Let's cancel out of that view. I keep staying in it and it keeps annoying me. The Samuda, their home territory is still intact. Did the Muck take anything else though? We can have a look. You can kind of see this used to be Samuda's. This used to be Samuda's, so the Muck won that war and they took quite a bit. The Unlearned still just about intact, allied with Amaranth. There's really no point in this. Oh, Sonyeo die, back allied with Gioia. Ninja Karutsu. Desperately trying to get the Savage Men on side. That would be impressive if they got the Savage Men on side and they just killed Kazil Bronco. I don't want to see it happen, but I would be impressed. The Nile Valley, still dead. No separatists to be seen this time. We just have the ugly... Oh, what's that? Norse Zealots. I don't think I've ever seen Norse Zealots before. I must have during this campaign, obviously, but still. That's a pretty sweet icon they've got there. I think clearly your buddy wants a country. In Season 2 we might just have to oblige him. The Nordisch Reich may well get their German coastline after all, in a fashion. But at what cost? Can Switzerland actually take any of this? Switzerland can't take much, if any, of London, because they have to take Pfalz first. So it's Nordisch Reich who are looking to take land from London. And there's some quite good provinces here. As Frankfurt should be a trade province for Rhineland, the Rhineland node. Let's zoom right out. Or rather, let's... How do we get... Oh, goodness, this is rubbish. Okay. There we go, that's a bit nicer. So you can kind of see a bit better the way the trade going, and Nordisch Reich will want more of Rhineland. Stop it leaking out of Saxony. But anyway, while we're here, did we miss the war? We did not. Meanwhile, Epiphany are at war with Nederland. Oh, big battle. London have actually brought an army over. Switzerland stood there doing nothing. To be fair, they've nearly finished that siege, so I would say fair enough to that. Yeah, but London going down. Clinging on to the Savage Men. As a drowning man would to a life jacket. That's not what I meant to say. To some flotation device or another. Because you wouldn't cling to a life jacket, you wear a life jacket. But in the heat of the moment, that's all I could think of. What is going on here? Ooh. What actually is this? Oh no, have they done, have they, no. Oh. I got very scared there for a second. Because the PRD have declared war on London. They've brought with... They've brought with them PRD, Osterstrond, Vikingar, and Metz, all going in on London. What do the PRD even want? They don't want much. But the Savage Men refused to come in. That could have split the Norse block, and the Savage Men had enough intelligence. The Chief Savage Man was enough of a diplomat to say, you know what, this is a bad idea. But that could have been the split in the Norse block. I don't think the PRD are going to get what they want here, though. I don't think London are going to end up losing that much. Because Nordischreich are going to take all this. If they don't, then the PRD will take it. The Osterstrode finally in a war. We would like to think that Epiphany will almost certainly declare. But I really don't think so. I really don't think they will. Eric Lux, come on. This is the time. Switzerland a bit exhausted, a bit worn out. Same with Nordischreich. Smash them. Before they get quantity... Look, you finished quantity ideas. Build up this army. Let's keep going, but let's check the potential size of Eric Lux's army, because I'm curious. Eric Lux can get another whole stack in there. So it says Eric Lux may be the only big country in Europe that hasn't been in a war this round. I don't agree with that. Because Eric Lux are no longer a big country. Patreon revolutionaries in their capital, but their capital notably not in Europe. Here's the thing, no... I'll quickly double check, but yeah, nobody's touching London's homeland. Whoa, Vikingar have got some of their German provinces back. Is that Schwarzwald are looking a bit fuller? They didn't even take Pfalz after all that. And here come the PRD now. Osterstrode just sitting back, as well they might, because they're not getting anything out of this. Apart from, you know, a little bit of... Oh, hello. Big naval battle. Oh, easy win for London. Have they taken naval ideas at all? No. But they do have heavy ship combat ability. They've got yearly naval tradition. And they've got morale of navies. So they will protect their homeland from anyone but Scotland. Where next for Nordischreich? Nordischreich, well... Schwarzwald, obviously, actually. What does the PRD want from London? I don't think they want anything anymore. Well, there we go. They've updated their demands. And they would take Ostfriesland. They'd take Friesland. And that makes sense if they're moving towards Lübeckian trade. But Lurzen still dominate that. What taking these provinces away from London does is stops this 1238 leaking out of Lübeck. How are we doing score-wise? Because London were getting up there. I've just realised how much further ahead the Savage Men actually are. Anyway, score comparison. Epiphany are still streaking away. They just have to kind of sit tight and nobody else will touch them. Big revolution in Patria. But it's not, they're not going to become the revolutionaries. Revolutionaries in Samud al-Kafa. Kizil have attacked Ninja Kurutsu. You know what? I'd like this. I can't open up that link in the chat just now of Europe's exact borders. But I know from having played a Holy Roman Empire game. Well, actually, we might be able to go... It might be... It certainly includes this. It might include Anatolia, I'm not sure. I think it goes like that. Obviously not including that wasteland. It definitely includes Constantinople, and I think it includes Anatolia. Anyway, let's get at this view before I confuse myself even further. Eric Lux, what do they even want? They do want a piece of Switzerland. Sesto de Conte, you're greedy, you're tolerant, it's time for you to show your greed in a good way. What is this? Hopefully it's what I think it is. Well, that's a big old beating they're going to take. Talk Maria Crusade against Caboose. Caboose and Kizil Bronco. That's not good news for their Ninja Kurutsu war. In fact, this is a pretty... If we look at, zoom out and look at who's involved, look at that. That's a war. Although Ninja Kurutsu are separate, obviously, but it looks impressive. Look at that piddly little conflict in Europe. This is what we've got over here. Hopefully Tok Maria, and yep, Tok Maria taking all of this. Getting the lion's share. That's what I'd like to see. You know what? I'm kind of coming back around. I want someone to start beating up Epiphany. I've always been somewhat of an Epiphany fan because they played it so well at the start. They still haven't taken quantity ideas either. And taking expansion at this point is a horrendously bad idea. Everything's colonized already. That's their first really bad idea choice. Does Tequila want any of Kizil Bronco? Maybe a little bit. I'm hoping they don't take anything. If it was up to me, I'd just get Kizil Bronco, peace out of that war. Just let Caboose die like they would have let you die. Like you let them die the first time. And take all of this, because imagine how impressive it would look if all that was Kizil Bronco. Aren't Georgia in this war? Do they not want anything? No, why do they not want anything? This is prime real estate for them. Tok Maria aren't going to get this far. Maybe they're afraid the Savage Men will just beat it out for them. Also, Tequila do want stuff over here as well. Which is unfortunate. But Gezira aren't getting anything. I hope Tok Maria are the main winners out of this. And it's not Tequila. Free Scotland sneaking back on that map there. The Savage Men have slowed right down, which is unfortunate. Alexis Savage Man is a very, very bad ruler. A 2-2-2 at this stage is not good enough. What happens if Otto von Mistra dies? Another von Mistra, that's fine. There aren't really many great rulers going around here. Anyway, this war continues on. And they're making a bit of a meal of it. I don't expect them to just roll over. I suppose there are quite a few forts. But still. Only -17. Because here's the thing as well. This is an imperialist war against London directly. So to get the war score, they need to take London. And they're not going to take London. Look at this. This is a naval battle. Boom. I didn't even get to click on that naval battle. It was over so quickly, they ran away. Even London's trade fleet. Outnumbered. Well, no, it was the other way around. But the trade fleets are beating their trade fleets. Big naval battle. Outnumbered now. Interesting. This is an actual really interesting one. You'll see how good the London heavy ships are when they're completely outnumbered. They don't even have an admiral on. And now the heavy ships are falling due to sheer weight of numbers. They need to get out of there before the rest of the heavy ships go. It's taken that many numbers to take out the London Navy. And still the heavy ships didn't go down. The heavy ships stayed up. I got really scared for a second there. I thought those were Swiss revolutionaries. And I just thought to myself, I joke about it, but this time, what? Hold on. Have Kazil Bronco actually done something smart? And done exactly what I said they should? Because they've pieced out of that war. Though Caboose are out of this war. Did Toke Maria take much? Yeah, they did. Did they give land back to Arkansas? They gave land back to Arkansas rather than give it to Tequila. That is genius. That is actual genius. That is perfect. I'm actually well impressed with that. The Tequila can't expand further into what they would term their land. Genius. Meanwhile, Kazil Bronco have reached the Pacific Ocean. They're helping Yunlin get back this land as well. This could be fantastic. Sultan Shadi Arsoks, the dynasty prevailing, despite starting as a tribal federation. The London's navy was beaten back there, again, just by being completely outnumbered. But they've got an impressive stack at home. They've got a decent general on it. So if they can... I know that combined fleet had about 50 transport ships. Say they landed exactly 50 troops. 50 units. These guys would win. If the AI actually responds to the landing. So again, London have their shores defended. If I'm not mistaken, London have a load of cash as well. They're even winning a battle down there. They have a load of cash, they'll be able to rebuild that navy. I mean, they'll be losing the war, but not by that much. Look at that, 9 plus 20 war score, because they haven't taken London. It's ambitious, I have to say. Tribute visiting Lapland. Why am I not surprised? The revolutionaries continue into... Oh, hello, that's a big stack. The Nile Valley over there as well. So if the Indians are being hit by revolutionaries, who's best placed to take advantage? Bengalistan can leverage their alliance with Georgia. Oh no. Gansu, Sinsaga, Sunyosadai, Fujian. Right, who's that war actually against? Against Ordos. And this time, Kizil Bronco aren't allied with Ordos. So Sunyosadai just beating up on Yunlin. Why do I even come back to China? To visit Australia Minor when we go back down south. That's it. What's the occupation down here? It's Uganda, not Tokmaria. Though Tokmaria are sending an army down. And they are going for Sakalava again. And maybe they'll actually take Madagascar. So with 5 years to go. Well, 6 years to go. 6 years to go until 1750. We've actually reached that far quicker than I thought we would. The point where I didn't even really need to start an hour earlier because we're nearly finished an hour earlier as well. Eric Luck's on the move. I mean, you can say too little, too late. But this is London on the way out. Oh, goodness me, look at this. Look at this en masse mobilization. Why have they come in this late? What the PR... Oh, hello, Scotland just immediately into London. Albeit London immediately into Scotland. But this is a war that could secure Epiphany's first place. I don't see any way back if Epiphany win this war decisively. So the PRD, if the PRD and Osestron just stand on these provinces, stopping Epiphany from getting them, that would be a result. You've also got the battle in the colonies as well, which are looking a lot better, a lot more fleshed out. But there we go, there is occupied by the PRD. How did the Poles get over here? It's Osestron who have done it. Osestron have gone, you know what? We'll take these lads. Battle's revolutionaries. Of all the countries to go revolutionary, that would be a disappointment to say the least. Meanwhile, the Savage Men, they're waiting, they're watching. What did Kizil Bronco get? Woof. I mean, none of this is particularly good land, I have to say. But it is more land. Epiphanes shows up just... Epiphanes doesn't show up earlier when his country embarrasses itself. And I'm properly gesticulating at the screen here. He doesn't show up earlier when Epiphany loses to Switzerland. But no, he's here now that he's on a victory lap. Taking over London, the Low Countries. $70,000 Polish troops just sitting in Poitou. What has happened there? What could the PRD be waiting for? Perhaps they're hoping that they'll take London, but that's not going to happen. Although we've got Ostestron crossing now. It's just going to be a massive land grab. Look at that combined fleet. That's not a 91 fleet. That is both sides of the war. All sitting there at once. If they keep London blockaded, the siege will go quickly. Although, to be fair, these are London troops and they outnumber the Scottish troops. They should be rushing in there. They would win that battle. Although, to be fair, they've got quite a while before siege goes down. Also, well, the PRD have taken a bit of quite a chunk of the Netherlands, actually. More than I expected them to take. Friesland? No, it's Ostfriesland is the trade province. Holland is a trade province, I think. Yep, Holland is a good trade province. So they will have a major chunk now. Oh. How have we gotten this again? Just an individual war between Norse bloc members. Nordisch Reich... Except London isn't on the other side now for obvious reasons. But Switzerland have grown a lot more. Right, come on PRD. Come on now, lads. I'm backing freedom. I'm backing democracy. I am backing Nordisch Reich not getting Berlin back. These are the things that I believe in life. Nordisch Reich, Switzerland, Utrecht versus PRD, Metz and Vikingar. Vikingar have a 30k army that they're going to have to send on a wild goose chase to get around here. Yeah, the PRD's allies are all gone, actually. The Savage Men and Osterstrand were called, and they turned it down. That's what's happened there. A truce of 5 years. So the Norse bloc is broken, but the Norse bloc remains. It's the PRD who are the big losers. The Osterstrand is just sitting there thinking to himself, you know what now? Hold on, who are Vikingar allied with? Even Vikingar have got Osterstrand now. The PRD. No one relies on the PRD and the PRD can rely on no one. Osterstrand are attacking Perm, Buryatir and Kizil Bronco. But surely they can only get that one province. Or it's 2 provinces. And the Savage Men are going to beat them to it. That would be spectacular if Osterstrand finally declare an aggressive war and they get beaten to it by the Savage Men. Do they want the other one as well? No, they don't want either of them. That's unfortunate. I would have absolutely been in for that. Now, unfortunately, the Savage Men don't actually want anything from Kizil Bronco, so this is a bit of a wasted, useless war. Eric Lux. What you need to do. Look at all this land you won. That should be your land. Look at this. This is literally Italian land. That's supposed to be Milan, not Mailand. Get Patria. Who are they allied with now? Look, you can take these guys. Get Patria. Get your amazing cannons. Hopefully you'd still get Epiphany as well, but they might go, oh no, we're busy. We're busy feasting on a corpse, we can't help you. But even still, Eric Lux, with a good defensive display, would beat up Switzerland, especially while they're at war for the PRD. I think this is the war that will see the PRD completely broken. I don't think they're surviving this. This is it for them. They're gone. Right, congratulations to Osterstrand. They might actually fill in that little bit of wasteland. Yunnan continue to shrink. A gosh darn shame. A quick click around for any wars. So there we go. Tolkien East Africa. Madagascar. So they'll start to dominate this Zanzibar node. And indeed they already do. And that takes directly from Malacca. Not much being sent from Malacca. What's Gezira? Gezira are the rebels that tore apart the Nile Valley. Separatists ran around, kind of split the country in half, and then the resultant country killed off the Nile Valley, pretty much. Big old battle here. The Savage Men versus Kazil Bronco. And there's only really going to be one winner there. The numbers win out once again. And Kazil Bronco will have a quick look. They don't have forts. They don't believe in forts. You'd think they might have learned after last time. So fractures in the Norse bloc might have just resulted in the remaining Norse members becoming a whole lot stronger. Scotland making a meal of this. Their capital's down. Thankfully, it is Epiphany's war, and they have 55% war score. Scotland are actually losing in the grand scheme of things. And indeed, hold on. Hello? Look at how quickly that army melts because they're defending a massive fort. Completely wiped. Scottish army completely gone. That's what I was saying earlier. Attack that fort while it's being sieged. Boom. You win. With equal numbers, you win. 110,000 troops. Just sitting in Antwerp. Just waiting for a boat. Waiting for Operation Sea Lion to come and save Scotland. I would absolutely love it if PRD somehow managed to screw over Switzerland, but it's not going to happen. The armies are far too spread out. Look, you've got armies there. You had an army. Yep, you've got an army in Switzerland. You've got armies building around here. You've got armies retreating through the Savage Lands. Peace over. Did the Savage Men actually take? Because that doesn't look natural. Maybe they always had that. I just got excited for some reason. But no, Perm up here. All belongs to Osterstrond. Congratulations on your 15. 15 isn't too bad for two provinces, honestly. There's still only 15 development for guys with 1,165. So, big old battle in Switzerland of all places. In the grasslands, the PRD win. What do the PRD actually have military-wise? Innovative, offensive, quantity. They actually have something quite similar to Eric Lux in that their military things are all very good late game. They've got some amazing ideas actually. Discipline, land fire damage, artillery combat, land leader fire. That's actually fantastic. That's actually really good. In any case, Eric Lux have made their way across. And Epiphany made their way across, and the London army is dead. But the problem with the PRD, and indeed the problem with Eric Lux, is that all their good stuff is all built around an artillery-heavy army. And that's what Eric Lux have trended to. If you see there, 13-0-10. No cavalry. Just infantry in front of amazing artillery. But whereas over here, you'll see it's all infantry. Because that's all they can afford over here in PRD. It's probably not all they can afford, but they need to build quickly. And I think it's about 3 times as long to build a unit of artillery as it is to build an infantry. I mean, we'll have a look at this now. I suspect this will tell the story. Yeah, as I suspected. Nothing. No occupations for the whole of Nordisreich. Prosperity abounds across their entire empire, apart from places they've recently fought over. And the devastation going deep into Poland. Switzerland as well. You can kind of see the remnants of Epiphany's war earlier. Just as a point of curiosity. And of course, there's pretenders over there anyway. Nearland not doing great. If you wanted to roll MPO, you'd have to go through Tequila to do it. What Tequila actually doing that they're losing? Tequila at war with Gioia in a fashion. That's interesting, because Gioia have a pretty good army. I say pretty good army. They've got a pretty big army. Not big enough to really cause Tequila problems. But if it was combined with, say, more revolutionaries. Look at the autonomy around here, actually. High autonomy, raised either by rebels or to stop rebels. But yeah, unfortunately, Nordisreich are gonna get Berlin back. They're gonna get their entire border back, I suspect. If they take Zemplin, then this entire bit is going to be terrible and cut off, and we don't want to see it. Another wave of forces for Epiphany. That's 99% war score now that London's fallen. So what's been taken? Hopefully the war ends before 1750. Oh goodness. London has fallen. And Epiphany is pretty much guaranteed their first place. Notice how Scotland got literally nothing back. Epiphany have dug their way. They've taken Antwerp. They've taken London. They will now have 25% pirates from Östersund. But apart from that, they would have majority control of the English Channel node. This is a pretty unassailable position. Like, it would take... It's like, I could barely... Oh, no, hold on. Hold your horses. Something good could come of this. Schwarzwald have attacked London in a nationalist war. In amidst all this death and destruction, the cool and good and pure Schwarzwald might come away with something. Rolf Denny is on the up once more. Is it Schwarzwald just on their own? Essentially. At the end of this year, we'll certainly make a save. And that might be the end of session. .45% war score. That is it's only 24%, 24 development. Antwerp should be bigger than that. 17? Oof. But all this land is actually really, really good. So they've taken all this, right? 16, 17. In all but one of these provinces, one province by itself is more than Österstrand have taken this entire session. So we're winding it down a bit. Holland is separatists of all. Does Holland even have a core? Well, they will after the separatists siege it down because the PRD aren't defending that province. $51k down in Zemplin. Oh, the PRD getting one back. Just as we strike the new year. And January 1750. So I am going to call that the end of this session. And I'll tell you for why. Because we have 2 sessions left of this entire campaign. What we'll do is next week will be at the normal start time of 9 o'clock UK time, an hour later than it was today. And we'll go until 1775. And then the week after that, we'll start early, and it'll be 1775 until the end. Unless we feel like a winner can be declared. So I will actually stay on stream just now and talk through a few things, but I'm not going to unpause the game. And I'm going to put this on. Just less excitable. Let's bring it down a little bit. As things freeze in front of us. So if you have any questions that you want to look at, now's definitely a time. Because what we can do here, if you haven't watched live before, is we can now go in. We could take control of these nations. I say I could. Because you guys aren't here. I'm the one in front of the computer. But I could... I've saved this game, so don't worry. But yeah, I can go in and order troops around. As if I'm playing them. That means we can go in and see stuff we couldn't usually see. Like... Epiphany sky-high absolutism. Absolutism has no effect over 100, but 105 gives you leeway to lose it. That means they've got a massive 60% administrative efficiency. That means all this land, this massive amount of development, they've not got that much overextension from at all. What we'll do while we're here is we'll quickly check... Come out of that. Current wars. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a miracle. Free Scotland are in a colonial war and Nederland aren't involved. Nordish Reich against the PRD. Zil Bronco taking on Ordos. Tok going back in on some Africans. Aquila over there as well. Right, so explore how they could take stuff back from Switzerland. So if we're Epiphany, we want to declare war on Switzerland. This is the situation they'd be faced with if they want to declare war directly on Switzerland. Now, Switzerland earlier on weren't allied with the Savage Men. I will point this out right now. So could they do it right now? No, it would be a massive fight. But earlier, for example, we declare war on Switzerland now, take the Savage Men out of the equation, it'd be easy. Look at the amount of people they could call in. Call in Agenda, call in Eric Lux, call in Free Scotland. Patria wouldn't because it's a distant war because their capital's right over here. No, this is very recent that they've signed this alliance, is what I'll say. if you're a human player, declare war on Metz. Well, you couldn't if you were the Holy Roman Emperor, actually. That's clever, actually. But if you were Eric Lux and you declared war on Metz, that would presumably... Oh, no. Actually, I'm going to have a look at this. Because there's a little bit of a weird... Because this is the Holy Roman Empire. Epiphany is the permanent Holy Roman Emperor. So, for example, obviously the PRD can't see it now. But say we went Lutzland and wanted to attack Nordischreich. And we have no diplomats. Say we were Vikingar and we wanted to attack Nordischreich. And we're already at war with them. These are some bad examples. Say we were London and wanted to attack Nordischreich. As you can see, even going to attack Nordischreich calls in Epiphany as the Holy Roman Emperor. Now, of course, they're not going to defend Nordischreich right now because they're rivals and they hate them. But if they hate you just as much, then Epiphany could potentially come in on the side of the Norse bloc. So that's what's so fraught when it comes... That's why it's so fraught declaring wars in this area. Because at every point, Epiphany could come in. But yeah, earlier on, Eric Lux, this was their time. Eric Lux could call in Patria because Patria are far closer. They've got far more trust there. So call in them, call in Epiphany. Don't bother with Free Scotland because what are Free Scotland going to do? That's a brand new alliance as well, by the way. Free Scotland, what? And you can tell because there's no favours there. And then taking on Nordischreich, Lutzland and Metz. Easy stuff when Nordischreich are doing that. We can jump to the Savage Men as well. They could convert to Islam, Christianity, or abolish slavery. But they don't want to do it. Any of those three. They've got sky-high absolutism as well. No overextension. What do they want? They want Legendia. What could they do to take Legendia? Now, this is the problem the Norse bloc have always had, and why they haven't been even more dominant, is that I bet if we go to declare war on Legendia... Oh, interesting. And this changes with the modern age, but before, Osterstrode would not have been interested in this war. As it is, I don't know what land Osterstrode think they... That little hand icon means that they'll join if you agree to give them land. I suspect if we go to Osterstrode and look, it'll be the gold mines down here. At a guess. Yeah. So Osterstrode would join a Savage Men war on Legendia if they were promised the gold mines of Zimbabwe. Which is a bit of a stretch, if I'm honest. But what you get, this is the Age of Revolutions that we haven't seen through before. We can have a look at this, and you can see exactly what I was about to say. What Osterstrode have is they've taken ignore coring distance. So they can take anything in the world and they can core it. So that is why Osterstrode are interested in like that inland gold province in Georgia, that inland gold province in India. Incidentally, all these provinces, they are gold provinces. I'm certain of it. That's Kilwa, that's Zimbabwe, that's... Yep, all gold provinces. Although, interestingly now, we look at Osterstrode. They also want the PRD border. This could be the best thing to ever happen to Osterstrode. Because once this truce runs out, in July this year, what's stopping Osterstrode just going, hey, I'll be taking this. Thank you very much. Nothing, really. The Savage Men won't come in with them. Although perhaps they would, because why they wouldn't come in is because of the truce. But the truce will be done in July. The PRD are hostile towards Osterstrand. I don't think they're hostile towards the Savage Men, no. So the abandonment of the PRD by the Savage Men in Osterstrand. A very well calculated move on Osterstrand's part. But unless the Savage Men suddenly get a militarist and want to actually start conquering, it's not that great a move for the Savage Men. The Savage Men... I don't know. I'd have liked to have seen them throw Nordistrike to the dogs instead. But hey, what you gonna do? Is there anything else we want to look at? What we'll look at just now are scores. Because we're kind of playing for score. Osterstrand are actually gaining back up. Interesting. Because... let's come out of here and let's zoom right in here. Just to have a better backdrop. Where are they falling down? Everywhere, really, for Epiphany. They're first in nothing, whereas Osterstrand are first, second, and first. And I bet it's their fleet holding them back here. Although, of course, they are involved in this war still. Or rather, they were, so they're getting masses of score for that. And Epiphany aren't. But if we look here, let's look at income. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this could be game over. And that massive jump in income is all in trade, and it's all from that War of London. That was all that land they took around here. All part of the English Channel. If we come into Epiphany, is that going to be their home node now? What are they actually doing with their merchants? They're collecting 60 in the English Channel. They're collecting in Genoa. And Genoa remains their home node, and it's where they're making the most money from. We have to imagine once they get rid of those pirates, and once they consolidate this land so that it's not completely autonomous. They're probably out of states. No, they're not out of states. They're just lacking the admin power to core them. Once they've cored all this land, they could well move to here and just dominate the trade from everywhere here. Colony-wise, Free Scotland have been doing very well. Somehow. By not having much development of their own. Elsewhere. Oh no. Tok Maria. Well, let's have a quick check of this war, because we haven't done that yet. But yep. As to be expected, they're just going in. Getting more land, as you would. No particular... trade provinces they're going for. Just more land. There are some good provinces in here. 24 development in Uganda. It is grain though. 20 on livestock. That's alright. Over here, Yunlin. Have they lost? Yeah, they have lost Beijing. So, was that this session or was that last session? That was only 5 years ago that they lost Beijing. Oh, well. So that is Yunlin pretty much down and out. They don't have their alliance with Kazil Bronco anymore. They have their alliance with Amaranth, but we know how useful that is. That is to say, not worth the paper it's written on. I'm surprised more of the Philippines haven't been colonized. Oh, no, I'm not actually. Because this was started on the last patch. Before these provinces were all added. And it's the same with Japan over here. These provinces were added in the last patch, so they can't be colonized. So I keep looking over here thinking, oh wow, they're really not colonizing, but they actually literally can't. There's zero development. There's... maybe? No, I think maybe every single province has been colonized. If we drop in on Epiphany, or really anyone at all, we can go to possible colonies. Nothing. Nothing at all. Which makes it even more galling that Epiphany have taken expansion ideas. Ternat, or Ternate, however you like. I assume... well, they're not where they're supposed to be. Or maybe they are. But Ternat is that right there. And they are a country in the base game in 1444. Ternat starts on Ternat as a one province. And I assume just the separatist rebels one gets here. It's like how Gezira came in. Gezira weren't at... Oh, I've just had... Wow, I didn't realize Gezira climbed that much. Do you reckon if I just, told the Savage Men... If I came into the Savage Men and said, you know what? Oh no, it's not letting me set it. Why didn't you let me set it? That's terrible. I just wanted to set all that as vital interest and have the Savage Man bear down. Wreck them. Have Dinar Valley back in its former glory. Only to be shot down by like Darfur rebels. But yeah, all these rebels that are popping up, they are countries that exist in the EU4 campaign. Just popping up whenever other rebels aren't really... where there isn't really a position for other rebels to pop up. Instantly, right, let's jump into stuff like Tequila. Places like Tequila. Minus prestige. How have they done that? And what I want to do is jump around disasters. There are no disasters that can strike Tequila. War exhaustion going up. The Savage Men. No current disasters and stability less than 0. So rather than search around for that, let's have a look at stability. And nobody really, who's closest, these are all 1 stability. Is Tequila up? I'll double check that, because that'd be interesting. I don't know why they would. Unless they did actually fall victim to a revolution. They are. They've fallen victim to a revolution. But they didn't become revolutionary because they're not in Europe. So that was the revolution disaster. It just didn't make them the revolution target. That is interesting. Tequila did. That was a full-on revolution. What about Samuda? Samuda have maintained their administrative kingdom, but they've still got revolutionaries there. But they are undergoing aspiration for liberty, which is something else. That's fine. They're trying to overthrow the government, and they'll get there in 20 months, unless they can be stopped. That was such a good spot, by the way, that Tequila was a republic. That's actually such an impressive spot. Malta, 1 stability. How many provinces do they have? Is there an easy way to count? There will be on the load screen, so I'll ignore it for now. Have a quick look. The aspiration for... is very similar, actually. People are more likely to get hit by aspiration for liberty than they are revolution. Because as soon as stability goes to 0... rather than -1 is when aspiration for liberty starts. Interesting. How are we all doing with religions? Coptics are back in force. I say in force. How many holy sites do they have? This is a point of personal curiosity. 2 holy sites. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Manpower, recovery, and discipline. Sure, I'll take that. Oh, Jesus. We've got a 666 over here in Geoia. A 666 colonist, unfortunately. But that could be Geoia. Racking up the points. Racking up the development. Australia Minor. Still hanging on. They've converted to Hinduism, as one might expect. What have Epiphany taken in the Age of Revolutions? They've got all these bonuses. Have they already taken all of this? They must have. Maybe that's why Epiphany's stuff isn't all looking to revolt, because they've already taken some of these. How are Neroland doing? Beset by rebels, of course. If we look at Neroland subjects, they've got very few tributaries left, thank God. Hold on. Nero, why? Nero, no. So Nerolandian, La Plata, and Nerolandian Brazil have declared their independence and become La Plata and Brazil respectively. Not much imagination there. Brazil even allied with Neroland. Because Neroland has been... You can kind of see now what Neroland still has around here. They could probably take on Potosi and win. How much development does that mean Neroland have? Because they had something like 211. 202? Like, they're staying in there. For some proper comedy. 50,000. Right. As another thought exercise, what could we do with 50,000 ducats? God, have these guys not even... They're still a tribal despotism. They still haven't reformed the government. How much money are they making a month? 70. They should just... if they're not getting professionalism, they should just blow all their money on mercenaries and just kill Switzerland themselves. In all honesty, that's what they should do. Right. I feel like I'm rambling a bit, so I'm just going to go around a few more things. Look at that general for London, actually. That's probably why they put up such a good fight. Ninja Karutsu. Some pretty good generals in there. But the current rulers as well. Let's have a look at this. Gioia at the top. Chief Savage Man set third place. St. Petersburg, the best province in the world. Epiphany have the most disciplined army. Wow. I didn't expect that, but that's probably why they're doing alright for themselves. Nordischreich have hideous morale. Also strong catching up in terms of army size. Everyone has manpower apart from the PRD, which is to be expected. Naval losses, hold on. Lutschland rocketing up the table once again. Tanat have not lost a single man. Look at how much Tequila have taken because of that revolution as well. That's why we haven't seen them expanding today. The Epiphany have the navy. They have the army. And they have the score lead. Pretty much unassailable. Unless Osterstrand eat all of PRD. It's possible. Right, if there's nothing more for me to look at, I'm going to stop waffling on. That's next week. Going to be 9 PM. We're going to go 1750 to 1775. It will be a short session, but it will become all the more clear who are our winners, who are our losers. And at that point, we might want to call victory, though I suspect we won't. And then the week after that will be a fight to the finish, 1775 to 1821. We'll just do it in one big long session. Let's wrap it up there. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Let's put this on. Let's zoom out a bit. And have our... Oh no, what I'll do. I should be doing this. Should have done this before, actually. I never use the timeline anymore. But what we'll do is... There we go. This is how we'll exit. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next week. An hour later, 9 PM. Tune in for the re-emergence of Denial Valley. The re-reformation, re-reconciliation, and re-revenge of Denial Valley. Disappearing from the map in front of your very eyes. I'm just waiting for the caboose collapse. Sudden and dramatic. Here we go. There we have it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.